We are live. We are live. So, yeah, man, we are back, and we are coming here to do a Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor post fight reaction video, live stream, or whatever you want to call it. I am going to have some guests in the building. So, would you please jab that like button when you come in, man? Please do that. That would be very, very great. It'll help the algorithm of the video, and it'll help your boy and others get their brand out there as well. So that would be great if you could do so. But anyway, right now I got my man Famous AAA in the building with me, and we're gonna be talking about Josh Taylor Ramirez. We're gonna talk a little bit about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3, and we're gonna talk about nothing less than the Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence Jr. fight, and you know, just see how the flow of the show go. So definitely y'all tune in, man. It's gonna be an interesting show. We got a lot to talk about. We won't be here too long, and let's go from there, man. So other than that, man, so Famous, you got anything you want to start off with, or you want to just go ahead and just cook?
But yeah, I want to start off by saying salute the Trap House for reaching out and getting me on the return of boxing. I have since put all my videos private and decided not to talk boxing, but Trap House is one of the real ones, so his audience pretty much is kind of relevant to my audience. So I have the pleasure, of speaking on what Trap want to speak on. I think mute your mic, background noise, or whoever that is. Um, but yeah, salute to everybody in the building. Salute to the chat. I can't see who's in the chat, but yeah, appreciate Trap, and we gonna get it cooking. So salute to Cornerman Radio too in the building.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, man? What's up, fam?
What's up?
Famous.
What's up, bro?
I'm good, good, good. Trap, what's up, bro?
What's good, family? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So
So,
we here.
so how you starting the show, Trap House?
Well, I kind of got sidetracked because I was trying to get you into the onto the show, and I didn't really hear what Famous was saying. But how we're gonna start is since you watched that Elvin Rodriguez fight, I'm gonna go ahead and let you cook on that. I'm waiting on my other man to come in, and then when he come in, he can go ahead and touch on that briefly. But me, Blood, and Famous, we didn't watch the fight, so if you want to, go ahead and cook on that, bro. First,
Well,
but
well,
hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge a few people here. Winners train, losers complain. LDBC, what's good with you, fam? Salute to you. Sheldon Holmes, what's good? You already know what time it is, homeboy. We finna cook. Go ahead, bro.
I saw bits and pieces of each round of Kenneth Sims. He's Jared Hurd's friend, and he's been in Ernesto gym a couple of times. So going into the fight, a lot of people was high on Rodriguez, because his power and thing, but it didn't seem like he was cutting off the ring, and he didn't throw a lot of punches. So Kenneth Sims is with Coach K, and if you know Coach K, a lot of his fighters that's under his stable is very skilled. They use a lot of lateral movements, hit to not get hit, and if you know Coach K, like Shakur Stevenson, Troy Williams, Keyshawn Davis. If you know about all of those fighters, man, they're very, very talented. So I saw in the bits and pieces of the rounds that I was seeing, I just saw Sims was using his boxing ability, hit, using lateral movements, and Rodriguez didn't have nothing for that. And this was a huge upset. You know what I mean? Nobody thought Sims was going to win because he got like 3 losses already. You know what I mean? But, shout out to Top Rank for making this fight. You know what I mean? I can't really judge it all the way because I didn't watch the entire fight. But when I watched each round that I watched, I saw his boxing. He was just boxing beautifully, and Rodriguez didn't have an answer.
Word. So is that Alvin Sims Jr. you talking about?
Which Junior?
What's his name? What's the dude name? Alvin? Is it Alvin Sims? What's his name?
Elvis Rodriguez. You talking
No, the
about?
Sims guy.
Oh, I think it's Kenneth Sims.
Oh, Kenneth Sims. Okay, I
Yeah,
heard some, but I haven't really watched him that much.
yeah, he's Jerry Hurt friend, man. Like Jerry Hurt, they always training together. So,
What division they fight at, boss?
say it again.
What weight division do they fight at?
Oh man, that one I don't even know. I think I don't want to lie, so I have to look that up. I gotta look that
One
up.
Okay. Anybody on the panel know?
140.
Oh, okay, 140. Okay, Harlem versus Mark, man. Since you on, man, I know you probably watched the fight. Did you watch that Elvin Rodriguez fight? And if you did so, please cook on the fight, brother. Yo, Harlem versus Mark, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, there we go. I had a problem with the mic.
All right.
Yeah, so I didn't watch the fight like that last night because I got in kind of late. So I just did a little, little replay of it, little quick replay of it. But I seen that Sims, he was using real good lateral movement though. And he outboxed dude. Dude was just mostly trying to get the KO. He wasn't really boxing like that, you know what I mean? He wasn't really trying to really set nothing up but the knockout. He got usually when you get young guys that got power, sometimes they abandon their boxing for the power, and they believe the hype. And he just did not use his skills in order to cut off the ring, all of that stuff, man. He didn't adjust. He didn't use no IQ, no nothing. He kept the same game plan. That's what I saw.
Mm. And I'm glad you gave us a little background on Elvin Rodriguez and Sims and all those guys. Who they, what type of gym, background they come out of, and who's training them and things like that. Because I didn't really know too much. I heard about these guys, but I don't know too much in depth detail about some of these dudes. But I'm glad you informed us and the audience as well. But so let's move on, man. If y'all want to, we can go ahead and start cooking on. We could talk about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder real quick because I don't want to talk about that too long. I want to hear get that over with. We want to go ahead and elaborate on that because I want to get to Taylor and Ramirez. I want to kind of make that last, but let's go ahead and before we get to that, Cono Local Sports, man. Salute to Cono Local Sports in the building, man. But whoever want to cook on that first, y'all go ahead and take the lead and everybody else can mute tonight.
Let me cook on that, please. Let me start on that because I've been I've been off the scene. I know Cornerman Radio been off the scene a while. I know he probably pretty much talked to boxing, but as far as him, um, being off the scene, I recently just got off the scene, and I pay attention here and there because I'm at a point where I feel like I'm too mature to be going back and forth with people in the comment section about grown men and this, that, and third on a what kind of on a mature level. You know what I'm saying? Is a way that you can go about it. You could agree to disagree, but um, the fan of the sport and the fan of the fighter is just went to the extreme. And that goes on all cylinders on all sides of things. So salute to everyone who's still, engaged and involved in it. But as far as Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury 3. Now, in boxing, anybody who knows boxing, I'm not sure if Cornerman box or Mark box. I know Trap House, you boxed before. So anybody who knows any type of training or any type of fitness, and I think Cornerman knows this probably more than anybody as far as recently. the transformation that it took from him to get down to a certain weight, that takes time. You know what I'm saying? So just being in the ring and learning new things and sharpening your craft, especially with boxing, you're not gonna learn things overnight. So Tyson Fury, he's the type of guy that, social media, you can't believe what he's posting. You can't believe what he's posting up because sometimes it may pretty much with him is shock value. So he may be in the gym throwing punches, making it look like he's not punching hard and this, that, and the third. And when he gets in a fight, it's a totally different story. So, the fans, they go crazy over things like that. And then you got Deontay Wilder. He's with Malik Scott. See, he got the ring in the back of his house, and everybody look, yo, Deontay Wilder's taking it serious. And oh my gosh, do you see the jab and you see all this? For any fighter alone, just any boxer alone, period, you are not going to change the way you fight, especially after a certain age, in less than it's gonna take years. It's gonna take more than one fight for you to change your style. So if y'all think somebody looks good on pads and you got that hope, that's one thing. But in reality, when it comes down to it, I had Tyson Fury win in the first fight. Y'all seen what happened in the second fight, whether you say he cheated or not. When it comes to this third fight, I think Tyson Fury will be victorious once again. Just because I'm just a realist at the end of the day, and that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm passing the torch to whoever else wants to jump on and say what they got to say.
I think Wilder has a problem with fighting off the back foot. I seen a lot of the training that he was doing with Malik Scott with the videos that they put out, but I seen going forward there was no engagement going backwards to teach them how to fight off the back foot, because that's going to be his major problem. Can he jab off the back foot? Can he fight off the back foot? He hasn't done that. And will he abandon all of the things that he trained to do once he gets hit again and goes into that deja vu kind of syndrome when you get into a fight with the same fighter and then he hits you a certain way and you wind up fighting back the same way that you was fighting the last time? So I'm not sure. I think Fury would really win this fight if he can't fight off the back foot. But if he can, he'll catch Fury.
Next, boys, you want to cook?
All right. Well, to reiterate what Famous was saying, about the comic section and things, man. I know this is a passionate sport. We love boxing. A lot of us are passionate about boxing. I can't understand when people can't agree to disagree. You know what I mean? See YouTubers dissing each other, and that shit is whack and weird to me because why are we not accepting somebody's opinion? Everybody got opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I didn't come on YouTube to have the most knowledge, be the smartest boxing fan ever. I'm a boxing fan. So my opinion is my opinion. Trap House opinion is Trap House opinion. Famous opinion is famous opinion. We don't have to all agree. We don't have to make love to each other ears. And you know what I'm saying? Like Trap House is the one who gave me that line, and I was like, yo, that shit is dope. Because like a lot of these niggas want you to make love to their ears, saying everything they wanted you to say. Like agree with everything they agree on. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boxing fan. I have my own opinion. You got your opinion. If we don't agree, we don't agree. But let's get into the Tyson Fury and Wilder. Yo, I'm happy. I'm so fucking happy for fucking Wilder, man. I'm so happy. I'm happy that he got his. This is something he had in the contract, and this is something Tyson Fury should have honored. This expired shit, or I never fight him again. Finding ways to get out of the fight. He was supposed to fight some no-name fighter in December. That fight didn't materialize. Bob said, "Yo, we didn't have enough money to pay Tyson Fury." I mean, that was just all bull. I think you let on even Eddie Hearn and Joshua, because how you have a stadium already booked for Tyson Fury and Wilder. So you, in your back of the mind, knew this fight was going to happen. So you just led the whole world on. Every day that they're announcing the fight is done. They agreed on a 2-fight deal. A whole back and forth. Every week you have a new story about Joshua and Fury. Looking for a site, the site to put it on, to host the fight. And how you gonna have the biggest fight, supposedly the biggest fight, and not to be in the UK? Tyson Fury and Joshua is from the UK. I think you're doing a disservice to that fight to not have it at the Wembley Stadium. If you want to see who the real king of Great Britain or king of UK, king of Europe, that's where you're supposed to host that fight. You know what I'm saying? And the time is not ready. Right now, the UK ain't doing no crowds. So at the end of the day, wait. Take care of your business, fight Wilder. And if you beat him, you beat him. Now we can move on. I was hearing a lot of excuses, a lot of things. I don't know who cheated or not. I've heard Fury tested positive for PEDs and all those things, and he had cheated with the gloves in the Klitschko fight. So it's a lot of history with Fury. So I don't know what happened in the rematch, but I think they should call this fight with the trilogy and Wilder No Excuses. I think that's how they should title this fight, No Excuses, and we can finally move on. Whether it's Tyson Fury wins, whether Wilder wins, we can fucking move on from this fight. And the fight itself, in the first fight, I said that Fury won the fight. And I didn't want to see it in the first place. When everybody was cheering for Fury and supporting him for his comeback, wanting to see Fury and Wilder, I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see. I didn't believe in him. And then he impressed me in the first fight. And I said I was giving him a bunch of praise because I wasn't supporting the fight at all. And what he showed in the ring and displayed in the ring was his talent. The second fight, I don't know what happened to Wilder. If it was, he felt weak in the legs. It just didn't seem like Wilder to me. Maybe it was a bad night. He didn't take Cam seriously. I don't know what happened. But the third fight itself, I feel like Fury doesn't even want this fight at all. He has shown you every time, since the fight happened in the rematch, he has showed that he don't want this fight. This fight doesn't inspire him. This is not what he wants. It doesn't motivate him. So the person who wants it more is the person I'm going to say going to win that fight. And Fury has shown each time for the year and months that went by, he has shown he don't want the fight with Wilder. And I said to myself, it's like you giving a man like Wilder 3 chances to capitalize you. It's like you leaving a mouse trap, right? The mouse circles around the trap. It goes around it. It does the lateral movements. And you're wondering why the trap hasn't catch the mice yet. But eventually, the mouse is going to make a mistake and the trap is going to catch his ass. And then that's all I see in the trilogy. I think Fury's, whether he does the lateral movements or come forward, make Wilder fight on the back foot, I just feel like the trap is going to be set for this mice. And Wilder will capitalize on it. Whether Wilder knocks him out or whether Wilder knocks him down in several rounds. Instead of 2 rounds, he knocked him down in the first fight in 2 different rounds. Maybe this time Wilder knocks him down 3 or 4 times in different rounds. Or maybe he stops him. I just feel like it's like you playing devil's advocate when you fight in Wilder. Wilder doesn't have to fight a perfect fight. Fury does. All Wilder need is just to catch you, and he's going to lay the
Stop,
trap, like I
bro.
said. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
please stop, man. Please stop with that one. This is boxing, bro. This is not that one perfect. Like, please stop with that, bro. Please.
Nah,
Please.
but
I
like
respect
I said,
your opinion, but
like like I said, we all got opinions. We don't have to agree on it, but that's what I see. You know what I mean? And until I see otherwise, then that's what I believe. You know what I mean? Just feel like the trap is going to be set, and Fury and Wilder is going to capitalize on that trap, and Wilder will prevail because I just know Wilder wants it more. Show Fury has shown you he don't even want to fight. You know what I'm saying? How disciplined he's going to be. You know what I mean? When he won the heavyweight title, the 3 titles from Klitschko, he didn't even defend his title. He showed lack of hunger, lack of motivation to even get up to fight again. Now he became heavyweight champion. We ain't seen him in a year and a half, and he's shown he don't even want this fight at all. The first title defense again. So again, you know what I mean? That's my opinion. But you can go ahead, Trap House.
So, all right, check this out though. First of all, man, boys, I don't know when the last time Fury showed hunger and fighting anybody. First of all, but let me salute a few people in the building before I get going. We got Blood Boxing in the building. We got Retro Boxing Documentary, which is Blood Boxing. Y'all go subscribe to Blood. We got the OG Bruce Goes in the building, man. You salute to both of those brothers. Both OGs, well established in the boxing game. So maybe it's me. I don't know. But I haven't seen Fury show any type of interest of really just getting up to fight anybody, and Rod Roots Davis was good, bro. And he show you time and time again, even though he don't be up for the fight, he still be winning. So you can't fall for that trick with Tyson Fury, bro. You can't fall for that. But I'm gonna say this.
But
Am I
one thing, Trap House. So you didn't think he was motivated to fight Klitschko? You didn't think he was motivated to fight Joshua? Because I've seen him really be motivated for those 2 fights.
he didn't fight Joshua though. He fought Klitschko, but he wasn't motivated to probably rematch him, whatever. But that don't mean that he wasn't gonna win. Even though he wasn't motivated to fight Wilder, not one time. He beat Wilder everything. I mean, to me, the first fight was a draw because of the knockdown. Okay, second fight he beat Wilder. Okay, now he didn't show interest in Wilder. Called him out. Let's remember Wilder called Fury out. So that's what brought Fury back out. But let me address my stance on this whole thing though.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the fight, good, they got unfinished business. Yes, they need to fight. But would I have took the Undisputed over this? Absolutely. Of course I would have. But am I cool with this? Yeah, they got unfinished business. They need to fight this trilogy. But the thing is, if Wilder beats Tyson Fury, he got to beat him again because he didn't ever beat him the first. He didn't ever beat him the first or the second time. So really, if Tyson Fury win, he can just put Wilder away. But Wilder needs to beat Tyson Fury 2 more times. This is my opinion. Because he ain't won a fight yet with Tyson Fury. You can argue and say he won the first fight with the knockout, but he didn't win. You understand what I'm saying? He got to get the win. And far as who do I think is gonna win? It's really hard to say, man, because I don't know what Wilder's psyche is at right now. He got beat up pretty bad in that second fight. Tyson Fury did get knocked down twice in the first fight, but he act like he act like that never even exists anymore. Now, stylistically, do I think Tyson Fury is just a horrible matchup for Wilder? Absolutely, I do. But the thing is, if they was to fight 10 times, I would still have to bet both ways. That's just the truth of the matter because I know Wilder can knock Tyson Fury out or knock him down. You know what I mean? So I got to be truthful about that. But I think if Wilder don't establish no jab in this fight, Wilder it's just gonna be a waste. It's gonna be a waste. He definitely got to do some things different. Is he gonna be able to do those things different in this fight? We don't know. Uh, it's kind of hard to excuse me, it's kind of hard to believe and bank on Wilder if he's gonna make changes or adjustments. I don't think I believe in him enough for that. Just being truthful. And to answer your question, Bars, about what you didn't know what was wrong with Wilder, it maybe with his legs. Hey, bro, the verdict is out on him, saying that he was out there fucking in training camp, fucking his wife, the whole nine. Hey, it is what it is, bro. If he and that's the rumor that's keep going on and on. 9 times out of 10, when they spread those rumors like that, it's a lot of truth to it. So as of right now, I believe that's what that was until otherwise. But it really, and I'm gonna tell you this. Another thing is, I agree with you with this fight. Is no excuses, because the thing is like if Tyson Fury wins, right? Wilder, whoever was making excuses for Wilder, they really can't say shit at all at this point. You can't say nothing about the first fight or the second fight. It's really irrelevant. But if Wilder wins, he shouldn't. Whoever is making excuses for Wilder or Wilder shouldn't have no excuses until he wins. He shouldn't bring up all this shit that he was talking about before. He shouldn't start talking about that until he wins. But if he don't win, that's what I was saying before all this. If you didn't win, you shouldn't even be talking about this dumb shit. You know what I mean? You should wait till you get the W first, and then talk about what he did and all this other crap. That's just my opinion. But like I said, they got unfinished business. I'm glad that they making this fight happen. That way we can go ahead and move forward, whatever we're gonna see, whatever shenanigan they got next for us in the sport of boxing, because that's what they got. We ain't gonna get to no immediate back-to-back bangers like that. So don't get your hopes up too high. But let me go ahead and salute a couple more people in this chat that came in here. I got my man Mark Nash in the building, and I got my main man boxing conversation with Reggie Owens in here, man. So anybody else got something to cook on that before we slide on to the next one?
Nah, I don't got nothing to say. I guess we shall see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Real
So
quick.
next.
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Isn't Charlo fight for Undisputed next? Or no?
Bro, I ain't even been keeping up enough to tell you, so you have to ask somebody.
Yeah?
Yeah, Jamel is fighting for Undisputed against Castanos. Castanos is WBO champion.
All right, so the only fights that matters this year is really Undisputed in my eyes. Everything else is people just want to see. And it's some meaningful fights, but to me, Undisputed is what 2021 should bring. So 2 Undisputed fights is good for me.
Okay. So next we go ahead and proceed and carry on to Mr. Senator Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence Jr. And whoever want to go ahead and take the panel first, y'all can go ahead. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I gotta say last. Go ahead, y'all go ahead and go ahead, man. Go ahead. Whoever want to take the panel first.
All right. So let's put it like this, man. Salute to Manny Pacquiao and Earl Spence for making a fight. Hopefully, hopefully we see some status change and Manny Pacquiao is back in that title contention so we could be one step closer to being undisputed. But if not, with everything that's going out the window, as far as we doing this for undisputed, that's pretty much a done deal. You know what I'm saying? As far as narratives being painted towards, the total position that everybody really wants to see is an undisputed champion at 47. And this right here is going to put, well, to me, I said this earlier off camera, this right here is, if it didn't stamp Manny Pacquiao's legacy, then I don't know what did. As far as him and Floyd, you definitely have to elevate Manny Pacquiao over Floyd. Whether you want to talk about who's undefeated, who's not, you want to talk about Manny Pacquiao, who fought three young black fighters back to back to back. Talking about Adrian Broner, talking about Keith Thurman, and you talking about Earl Spence Jr. at this late in his career. And for the people who are gonna say, well, Manny Pacquiao needs to fight because he needs money. The same person that's saying that, I guarantee you in the morning you gotta wake up and do what? Go to work, right? To make money. So obviously nobody's in here boxing just to box. Nobody's boxing just because they love it. Unless they Roy Jones Jr. They're not boxing just to box. So Earl Spence Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao in August. I think, but while I know for a fact that both of these guys are only going to fight one time a year this year, I truly believe Earl Spence is definitely not fighting again this year. There's no way that I don't see what else is possible for him to fight this year. I think they're gonna try to map it out to next year for him to fight. And Pacquiao, if he wins, he's definitely not fighting again this year. Last time we seen Pacquiao fight 2 times a year is rare. But interesting matchup. I truly believe that I mean, this fight is, I know a lot of people is basing it off Blu-ray being back in Earl Spence Jr.'s corner. Um I know a lot of people is just hoping and wishing that Spence can get a stoppage over Manny Pacquiao, but we seen as just as the competition rose, it's not that easy. These are not Chris Algieri, these are not Chris Van Hiddens. And going the opposite way as well, I don't think Manny Pacquiao can stop Earl Spence. Like I said, when I had my channel up with my videos, I truly don't believe none of these guys that's at the top level, or at least top 5, 6, or 7, none of these guys are going to get stopped. It's going to take a lot to stop these guys. That's just my personal opinion. But may the best man win in August. And Manny Pacquiao, if he can, I seen some things that he could capitalize off of, and besides the obvious, Earl Spence capitalize off Manny Pacquiao. I would love to see how Earl Spence is able to really hit Pacquiao by Pacquiao being a smaller target and a guy who has angles and who's gonna pretty much mirror him as far as southpaw and who got more tricks and things of that nature. So we'll see. It's gonna be a good fight. Salute to both men for making this fight happen, and we'll see in August what happens.
I think it's an excellent fight. It's more like to me, a 60-40 fight in favor of Spence. Whoever wins this fight though will have an IBF mandatory though this year, and that would be most likely Abdul Khabib or whatever, however you say it. I might be saying his name wrong, but it's that guy that was on Top Rank, but he went and signed with PBC, and I think he's having a fight in June. I can't remember against who though, but one of these guys are going to have to defend that IBF mandatory. IBF is not going to let them just, they're real strict. They're too strict. So they're going to have to fight the mandatory. We're not sure who that's going to be because Ennis is now number 3 also. And last time Earl Spence fought his mandatory, it was Ocampo. Ocampo was IBF number 3 at that time. But he fought him, so we're not sure. I think he would skip over Ennis, and I definitely think Manny Pacquiao would skip over Ennis if he wins this fight. If he wins this fight, he would probably fight Crawford, because that would give him more confidence. And I didn't believe him when he said on the Filipino news that he wanted to be the first president to actually fight for Undisputed championship. I didn't never think he was going to try to fight no Earl Spence for real. And I had doubts about the Crawford thing, but I seen news coming about the Crawford thing, about Crawford going to fight Manny Pacquiao. I seen it even on a lot of guys from Dubai, a lot of guys from Iraq was talking about it. Cats that was coming from Saudi Arabia was talking about it. But the fight did not manifest. And from what I understand, the fight didn't manifest because Crawford did not sign his part because something about the finances. So that's when Earl Spence picked up the fight with PBC, and that was a good power move. Very good power move. So it's going to be a very good fight. Interesting. I'm very curious if what Earl Spence is going to do. It's more like Pacquiao has the advantage over speed. To me, he has the advantage in power, but he doesn't have the advantage on strength. Earl Spence got the strength thing, but Pacquiao has the power thing, and he has the speed. He has the footwork over Earl Spence. But that youth, I don't know. You know, I don't know. You could get old overnight, and it could be just that night. And sometimes in fighting, you just have a bad day. And it's really bad to have a bad day when you're an older guy. So I'm hoping that Pacquiao would be ready for this fight. And Earl Spence would be prepared for this fight as well, because still there are questions about Earl Spence. Is he the same? Because he didn't look the same when he fought Danny Garcia. He did not look the same. He did not have the same relentlessness to try to get him up out of there. It was more like shoe shining boxing type of thing. So I'm real curious. Can he really handle Pacquiao when he come with them 1,000 combinations, that machine gun punches? Would he get overwhelmed? Because a lot of people talk about being overwhelmed when they see that footwork and that speed, and when they feel that power of Pacquiao. Even Mayweather talked about that. So I'm very curious about that. But it should be a good fight, though.
Man,
Anyone else?
my thoughts on the Earl Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. I'm really happy for this fight to be made. Um, it's it is my number one fight I wanted to see right now. Since 2019 when Manny defeated Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is my number one favorite fighter, and everybody was clamoring for Spence to fight Thurman, and Manny defeated him, beat my guy, man. I lost money on that fight. I was wearing my Keith Thurman T-shirt. I was in the movie theater with a few of my homies, and everybody in the movie theater was screaming for Manny. I was the only one cheering for Keith Thurman, and I was shocked to see what happened display in that fight. I knew that fight was going to get made because of how Keith Thurman looked against Josecito Lopez. I knew Manny was going to pick him. And not only that, Keith Thurman has been clamoring for Floyd and Manny for a long time. And I was hearing rumors, I don't know if it's true or not, that Keith Thurman was threatening to leave. And I knew I would try to help and satisfy Keith to keep him over there. I don't know how true this is, but that's what I was hearing. So I believe Keith was going to get the fight when a lot of people didn't believe Manny was going to fight Keith Thurman. I knew it was going to happen. And this fight with Earl and Manny, man, this is what boxing needs, man, because we've been seeing a lot of filler fights, and this is something to be excited for. Um, and I'm hearing rumors that they're going to reinstate Manny Pacquiao to the Super WBA champion, because he's the champion in recess. I don't know how true it is, but I feel like the WBA is gonna do it just because. When Machado fight Jose Corrales and was fighting for the Super WBA title, Machado was supposed to get that Super WBA title. But instead, they gave it to Gervonta Davis when he fought Cuellar, Jesus Cuellar. So, same thing, I think, with the WBA. They're just going to give it to Manning because they don't want to be not a part of this big fight. This is like one of the biggest fight in right now. It probably might be bigger than Fury and Wilder trilogy. In my eyes, my people might have a different opinion, but I believe Earl and Man is something we should truly clamor for, and I hope is for the unification. Well, I just believe the WBA gonna reinstate Manny, but as the fight itself, I haven't seen Earl fight a fighter like Manny, who is fast as Manny, will pop like Manny, who have footwork as Manny. And then we getting to see two southpaws fighting each other. I don't remember the last time Manny fought a southpaw, but I'm truly psyched to see this. Earl got back Blu-ray. I think Blu-ray is a phenomenal strength conditioning coach. I've been studying a little bit of Blu-ray, watching it and getting to know him more and more. And Black Fight Fan has been making people know about Blu-ray a little bit more if you didn't know. But I think Blu-ray is a hell of a strength conditioner. And I think a lot of boxing fighters should hire Blu-ray because the work ethic and what I see, what he does. I like what he does. And I like what he did for Earl in the 11 fights. Earl was looking ferocious in the 11 fights that he had with Blu-ray. I don't know why would you mess that up if you have a beautiful relationship like that. But I really believe this is going to be a tough fight. Maybe you could give 5 rounds to Manny. Maybe Earl wins 7 rounds. But it's going to be interesting to see because for Earl to win this fight, he has to dominate this fight. He has to dominate. I mean, completely dominate because anything Manny does, the fans is going to be cheering. The all those punches, even if they missing, the punch stats, the judges is going to be wild out for what Manny does. So for Earl, he has to be different. He has to dominate this fight. It's the only way he's gonna win. He can't edge it. He has to really dominate. I mean, like I think he's gonna win 7 rounds, but he has to dominate those 7 rounds to make it clear that he is the winner. Because anything Manny does, what Manny does, judges is going to score points for. The crowd is going to you can get confused to what's going on because of the crowd. So I really hope Earl set a tone for himself and be the best fighter he can be and dominate this fight. And I'm hoping he can get a knockout because that would set him different from a lot of people. That would be great, and then he will have the victory flawlessly. But I'm really tuned in. But is the 2 years off is gonna put in the play to Manny? I'm not sure. It's gonna be 25 months because he last fought in 2019 in July, and they fight in August 21st. So that's 25 months for a 42-year-old. Now, man said him being away from the ring that long won't hurt him. He feel much refreshed, and Not a lot of wear and tear in his body for the last 2 years, so he thinks he's gonna be believe is that he's fine. But yeah, man, I'm just truly excited. I hope Earl capture the torch. I hope he can do like what Manny did to De La Hoya, Earl do to Manny Pacquiao, you know. But the one thing I could say is, man, now I really believe that Manny was trying to pursue a fight with Crawford, because if he's gonna fight Earl, I got to believe some way he was willing to fight Crawford. You know what I mean? I didn't think the fight would ever happen, but I have to believe some part of it that he wanted to fight Crawford, because him being off for 25 months out of the ring and fighting Earl, that's set that sets a different bracket for Manny. And I'm truly respecting his moves of fighting Keith Thurman and now fighting Earl Spence, man. Where everybody thought he was gonna fight maybe Ryan Garcia, Mikey Garcia, or Danny Garcia, guys who are flat-footed, who don't throw a lot of punches, that Manny can actually win the fight. But it's really, really intrigued. And another thing is, it's convenient they took the title away from Manny, because Manny wasn't seeming like he was going to fight Earl. But now that he's set to fight Earl, I'm hearing rumblings that he's getting reinstated. So, but that's all I got. What's your thoughts, Trap House?
It seemed like the business of things that it would be best for WBA to go with Manny instead of go with Yugas. That sanctioning fee, they would get so much money out of the sanctioning fee. But do y'all
Look,
think that if Manny wins this fight, would he fight Crawford afterwards, or will he retire and go for president of Philippines?
hold on. We're gonna get to that. Let me salute a few people that came into the building. We got Ronald Finkley that came in here. Salute to Ronald Finkley. We got CF Sports and Entertainment. Salute to you, my brother. Who else we got in here? The Fox strikes again. What's up with you, fam? Appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all jab that like button when you come in here. Please do so. Kush the greatest. Salute to you, famo. Jab that like button as well. So we'll get to that question in a minute. But let me go ahead and address my piece on Manny Pacquiao and Earl Spence. Now, I am very excited for this fight. I know a lot of people think that I hate Earl Spence so much that I don't want to see him succeed at all. No, I want this fight. And I have been saying that the only three fights that make sense to be trying to fight each other is Manny Pacquiao, Earl Spence, and Terrence Crawford. Those are three fights that matter to me out of welterweight. Period. So, anyway, I'm very excited for this fight. I will be buying this fight. I am going to be purchasing this fight. I don't think the same way everybody else on this panel think when as far as this fight, who I think will win and the way the fight will play out. Well, really, I don't know who will win, but what I'm saying is this: I don't think that it's gonna be like Earl Spence is just gonna. I don't see a 60-40 advantage. I don't see any of that. I get it that Earl Spence he's a long guy, he got a good jab and all that good shit. Yeah, I get it. But I think at some point in time, once Manny start getting up under that jab with the head movement and the foot movement, and he started hitting Earl Spence, I think we're gonna see Earl Spence more shy and reluctant than we ever seen before. I don't think he's gonna be so quick to be aggressive. Now, if Earl Spence can take Manny Pacquiao's, punching power and impose his will, then Manny Pacquiao gonna have a long night. Do I think he'll stop Manny Pacquiao by accumulation of punches? Do I think he'll drop Manny Pacquiao? I doubt it. Do I think he'll knock out Manny Pacquiao? Fuck no. And do I think he'll do it with Blu-ray? Hell no. That's just my opinion. I mean, look, I understand, Earl Spence ain't knocked nobody out since Blu-ray or stopped him, whatever the case may be. But We talking about this is a different animal right here. Manny Pacquiao. I understand he getting old and all the other shit, but I want y'all to just reel some of this shit back and understand that y'all got Manny Pacquiao fucked up, man. Y'all got Manny Pacquiao fucked up. He gonna give Errol Spence the time of his life in this fight. You better believe that. And all that, put picking up the pace and the pressure as the rounds go on. We're gonna see if he has that same heart and will and determination when he start getting hit by those shots that he don't see and that start hurting him. Because I don't believe in Earl Spence as much as a lot of other people do. I think he's a good fighter. Don't no doubt. I think he's a good fighter. I do. I really do. But I don't think that he's what everybody think he is. I think that his chin is a little suspect. I think it's a little bit overrated. I definitely think his body, uh, as far as him taking body shots and shit like that, I think he's overrated. I don't think he could take it like he give it. But this all makes, a great intrigue for the fight. You know what I mean? But who I think will win, I really don't know who will win, but I'm telling you what I think will happen in spots of the fight. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Earl Spence can't, dictate spots of the fight. I'm just saying I want to see how he gonna act and respond when he start getting hit by Manny Pacquiao. You know,
So do you think he would shell up?
hold up. Shout out to GDKO that came into the building. What you say now?
Now, bro, do you think he would shell up like he usually does when someone throws multiple combinations like Sean Porter did?
Listen. Earl Spence, when he start getting hit and touched, the boy gonna start putting his hands in his pocket. Y'all gonna see. Watch what I tell you. It ain't gonna be where he just gonna feel like he in his damn comfort zone. Like it ain't like he in his front room. It ain't gonna be like that, bro. I guarantee you that. Once Manny Pacquiao start touching that boy, it's gonna be a total different ball game. I'm here to tell you this.
Trap.
So what? I'm listening.
Nah, you and even when I was big on Spence, like, when everything was Spence on my page, even back then, uh against lower competition, he was shelling up when people was throwing punches. You know what I'm saying? So
And check this out. Not to cut you off, bro, but look. And then as far as Blu-ray bars, I heard you campaigning for Blu-ray. Look. It's like this. Just the way I look at it. I could be all the way wrong, but Blu-ray, yeah, he did get stoppages with Blu-ray, but what level of competition was he stopping these guys?
yep.
He was Algiers, Bundus, like he ain't stopping no elite level guys under Blu-ray yet. He hasn't did. Maybe yeah, he dropped them and all that, but at the end of the day, he got to get in there with Blu-ray and he has to prove that commodity. You understand? Blu-ray is still unproven commodity on elite level. You understand what I'm saying? He did all that shit with them lower level guys, but who has he did it with the elite level? Why these other guys ain't getting Blu-ray?
The chin, the chin, the resistance on the chin, everything. It's just like with boxing, man. It's not that fantasy how they build when they first get in there. Everybody starts to run through everybody. Then after a while, you see it slow down as the competition. Because the one key thing that people do forget, they when you're going up against somebody that with your skills are higher, they train and their conditioning is up there. And two, they know how to survive. So they're gonna know, okay, I'm not getting knocked out, but I'll take a loss. So it's not gonna be the same. Keith Thurman is. Look at Keith Thurman. He's been hurt several times, and he don't even hold, but he knows enough to survive the fight. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman can make fights boring and hold when he get hurt, but Keith Thurman never holds. Now imagine Keith Thurman held every time he got hurt. It'll be a totally different fight. You won't be looking at it like that. So these guys know how to survive, whether you want to, believe it or not.
And let me say this. And I want to clear this up so everybody can have a clear understanding on where I'm at with this fight and what I think can happen, what can't happen. Listen here. I don't believe that Earl Spence can keep Manny Pacquiao at the end of his stick all night long. I said this.
I agree. I've seen Manny Pacquiao take away the stick many times. He's a master at that. You just can't jab him and jab him and jab him and jab him and jab him every round. sooner or later that footwork and speed and that boxing IQ is gonna adjust.
And that head movement.
Yes, that head movement.
And he's gonna and understand one thing now. We gotta. I want us to put all this shit in perspective because I don't want people to overgloss this for what's gonna happen because it's gonna happen. Now, is Earl Spence used to a guy throwing punches with him, timing him like that? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be what y'all think it's gonna be. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Trap.
Man,
You
what?
heard you heard Floyd Mayweather Sr. He said, "Yo, Floyd, you in there throwing punches like you scared." After the fight, what Floyd said? He said, "Man, Pacquiao said so many traps. That's why he wasn't listening to his father." He like,
Yeah.
"Yo, that motherfucker saying traps. Like, I'm not throwing that punch."
Okay. And that basic shit that Earl Smith do, he got to do something different, bro. That ain't gonna work all night. That jab to the chest and jab to the stomach, jab hook to left hook to the body and back up and pull back. That shit ain't gonna work all night, bro. He got to do something better than that. I'm just here to tell y'all that. So don't be in for a big surprise when from what I'm telling y'all what's gonna happen now. What's a good possibility is gonna happen now. But
One thing, Trap House. I have
hold on,
asked one question, Trap.
hold on one
Um,
second.
all right, go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Oh, but if Earl Spence can bring something new and different and aggressive to the table to make Manny Pacquiao look like he ain't nothing, I would be very very impressed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would be very very impressed from Earl Spence. But do I think he can do that? Nah, I don't think so, bro. I'm sorry, I don't believe him that much. But go ahead, boss. What you about to say?
I was gonna say is since you kind of seemed like you was asking me a question about Blu-ray. At the time that Earl fought Kell Brook, you didn't think Kell Brook was elite at that time?
Kell Brook wasn't proven commodity, bro. He only beat Sean Porter, bro. Let's be real.
No. Just saying at that time. But we know what is Kell Brook now. But at
He
that
wasn't.
time, him beating Sean Porter,
Listen, he
you
wasn't
didn't
proven.
think he was elite?
Wasn't proven elite
He wasn't proven.
commodity yet. Sean Porter is not elite.
Okay.
Sean Porter. I mean, you can categorize him. I just think that Sean Porter is just a good fighter, bro. I don't think he's just elite like that. To me, in my opinion.
Well, in my opinion, I believe Kell Brook was elite when he fought Sean Porter. After he fought Triple G, Kell Brook ain't been the same. But I really believe at the time, because at that time after he defeated Sean Porter, nobody really wanted to fight Kell Brook. Floyd didn't seem like he was interested to fight in Kell Brook. Keith
I mean,
Thurman was hesitant on and that's my number one favorite fight. He didn't even want to fight Kell Brook at the time. So, but now I'm saying, but even with the Blu-ray comment, we don't know. You say Blu-ray ain't proven on getting Spence the knockouts at the elite level, but he left him. So that remains to be seen how
I said
much of a great yeah. But the reason also why I appreciate what Blu-ray does because like I'm been in the heavy training. So watching what Blu-ray does, he does. I think he could do it all. I'm not even just talking about him being a strength conditioner to just a fighter. His work ethic and what he display as a trainer, as a coach, man, that dude does volumes. And that's why I appreciate what Blu-ray does. Not what he did for only Earl Spence, because that was just for 11 fights. What I appreciate Blu-ray for, yes, I appreciate what he did with Spence, but more what he does as a whole, as a strength conditioning coach. also as a trainer and also as a coach. So I like his whole body of work. Blu-ray is a fun beast when it comes to training. And I lost 75 pounds in seven months, and it took heavily training, and I'm still impressed what Blu-ray does, and I'm really appreciate how training it fires me up when I see Blu-ray work ethic. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like Blu-ray, and that's why I believe people should hire Blu-ray, because he can do for a regular person, turn them to a great in the best shape of their life.
I
But that's
feel
all
you.
I
So
gotta say about Blu-ray.
The,
PB
hey,
Pacquiao then salute Blu-ray. Maybe he'll get his stock up a little bit higher and his brand a boost up. But as of right now, he's still improving commodity. I heard all of you saying. I respect your opinion. We're gonna keep it moving to the next. Anybody got something else? What's
yes.
up?
The thing about Kell Brook, the only guy that he really beat was Shonda. If you look at Kell Brook record and you calculate all of his opponents wins over losses, you will find that Kell Brook fought more. His opponents have more losses than they have wins. Even when he fought Earl Spence, even when he fought Triple G, that was just the way it happened. You know, he was trying to become something. That's the reason why he went and fought Triple G. And then he went and fought Earl Spence right after. And then he fought Crawford just from out of nowhere. You know, he was trying to become that special fighter, but he never could make that turnover when it came down to a big fight. He always came short. But his opponents, before all of these other fighters, before Sean Porter, before Crawford, before Triple G, and before Earl Spence, his opponents had more losses than wins.
Even to this date, Mark, it's going to be to the end of his career. His opponent had more than 1,000 losses compared to the wins. So that's going to be to the end of his career.
True, true.
Not just then, it's going to be to the end of his career. So that's horrible.
All right, so let's go ahead and get down to Taylor and Ramirez, though, man. Uh, Anybody want to go ahead and cook on that? The undisputed boxing match this weekend. That I don't know if anybody. I haven't really been tuned in to nobody's channel like that. But let me go ahead and salute a couple of people. I got off the stream, and there was a few people that came in. I forgot, but I do recognize Stormy B Man came in here, saluted us. So salute to the OG Stormy B Man, man. There probably was a guy or two that came in before him. I can't remember. I hopped off the screen for a minute, but salute me, please don't shoot me. But anyway, man, like I said, man, it was a great undisputed bout that happened last night, man. I don't know how much buzz it got. Like I said, I've been kind of absent from YouTube for a little minute, but I do know that it was a very significant fight, and I got a lot to talk about when it comes down to this fight and what the future may hold with both of these possible opponents. You know, that's going to be moving up to 147. I don't see either guy staying. I know Josh Taylor ain't going to stay there, and Ramirez. What good is it going to 140? 140 anyway. So you know. But anyway, so anybody want to elaborate first? Y'all want me to take the lead, or how y'all want to do this, man? I'm gonna throw the option up for y'all. But the hell with that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the lead. I ain't gonna give y'all no option. So anyway, let's talk about this, man. Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez, man. The undisputed bout at 140. Man, we don't find too many undisputed fights, man. And I'm gonna say this. I don't want to sound like a dick for saying this, but I hate when I hear they bring up the undisputed talk. And this is however you feel, but I thought we already established this undisputed thing with the 4 belts, and they keep bringing up Teofimo Lopez. I got a lot of love for Teofimo. But he didn't quite get that yet. You understand what I'm saying? But Anyway, that was just a little pet peeve I had to just brush off my shoulder real quick, man, because it really kind of bothers me. But I try to ignore it the best way I can without addressing it all the time. But anywho, so I'm gonna tell you, I can't recall every round by round, but I'm gonna tell you the rounds that I do recall, and I'm gonna tell you pretty much that how I seen the fight and so forth and so forth. We already know what the end result was, but just my point of view, what I seen. So in the first round, man, it could have been a 50-50 round, but I edged out Josh Taylor for the first round because I thought that he was dictating the pace, a little bit more. Uh, I thought he was doing a real good job at outboxing Jose Ramirez in the first round, and even in the second round. But I thought Jose Ramirez was coming along a little strong in the second round, so I gave Josh Taylor the first and the second round. But like I said, one of those, the first round could have been a draw for whoever. They could have gave it to Ramirez. I've seen the scorecards on ESPN, which I hardly ever agree with. And, Andre Ward, that's my guy, man. But I'm like, damn, what the hell you be scoring, man? Like, sometimes I don't understand what the fuck. What be wrong with Dre, man? But anyway, but the third round, I had Jose Ramirez coming on strong. I thought he won the third round. I thought he was hurting Josh Taylor in the third round. Thought Josh Taylor, I don't know if he was fatiguing or what. It was a shot that slowed him down that made him respond to act like that. Couldn't really recall, but I seen the activity go down. I seen shots, leaning up against the ropes and things like that. And that's what was really getting him in trouble against the ropes. I don't like Josh Taylor on the ropes. I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of what I think about Josh Taylor. Don't like him on the ropes. And the thing is like he was looking pretty tacky on the ropes. It wasn't pretty tacky. He looked horrible to me against the ropes, against a guy who was a little bit patient to let his hands go while he had him against the ropes. I thought that he was doing a good job establishing that jab on Jose Ramirez. Landing the left hands all night. Jose Ramirez was coming on strong from the third round on up until he got dropped. I can't remember. I think it was the sixth round. He got hit with that straight left hand, and it just sucked him straight on his face. I was, it kind of shocked me when he clapped him, straight on the chin. I was like, God damn, did he get dropped or did he get pushed down? And it was like, damn, he did catch him. So, that was a nasty knockdown, man. And then that second knockdown, that left hook in the clinch dropped him. And when he did that, I was like, yeah, it's over with. And I'm gonna tell you a thing about Jose Ramirez is like, I felt like he should have been using his jab a whole lot more. I think he shouldn't have been he shouldn't have been jumping in the way he was jumping in. That's what caused him to get dropped with that straight left hand. With Jose Ramirez is that I think that when he had the momentum going from the third round to when he got dropped, he should have just kept staying aggressive on Josh Taylor. He had him right where the tides was changing right then and there. And one thing I noticed about Josh Taylor is that he couldn't keep like the pace that Jose Ramirez was setting. He really was having a hard time keeping up with that pace. He just had the better boxing skills to separate him in this fight. The truth be told, that's what separated him in this fight. It wasn't, the hard will, the harder. It was. I mean, yeah, they both had that, but that didn't separate. It was the skills that separated them. To me, in this fight, and the IQ that separated them in this fight. And now you see who's a little bit more seasoned than who. And I think that Ramirez definitely got to shorten those hooks up, man, because he was landing some good left hooks to the body on Josh Taylor. But the thing is, when Josh Taylor would get caught with the left hook to the body, he would always counter Jose Ramirez, to his chin with the right hook. So it was like they was always trading that all night long, and at some point in time, Ramirez was getting wore down from the left hooks to the body, the left uppercuts to the body, the right hooks to the chin, and he was getting hit with those jabs all night long. He was getting hit with it pretty much damn near everything. You know, what I seen, you know, I thought that you know, Ramirez lack of fundamentals a little bit cost him this fight. I'm gonna say this, and I think you know he abandoned his jab, cost him this fight as well. But I'm not taking nothing from Josh Taylor. I thought he did. I thought he did what he had to do to win. I thought he did pretty good, extremely good. You know, I thought that you know I was trying to figure out what went wrong in that third round. I got to go back and watch that fight. Like he could have easily made this fight boring. He could have boxed him because he was doing a good job at doing it. So I have to go back and catch that part. But as far as like Jose Ramirez, he's a good fighter. He don't got nothing to hold his head down against. I just think that he was just outclassed a little bit. You know, Josh Taylor. I want to see Josh Taylor and Terrence Crawford fight. I think that, man, I don't care if nobody agree with me or not, but if you get the battle of the two undisputed fighters, Josh Taylor and Terrence Crawford, that's going to be a bigger fight than even okay. Just say if Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence was the fight right now, if it ain't undisputed, it's still going to be a bigger fight significantly. I'm not saying like on paper wise or whatever. We know it's not, but I mean like far as the significance of the fight, you can't. It's going to be a bigger fight. It's going to be a bigger fight, and I want to see that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing Ramirez fight like a Prograis. You know, if Prograis ever decides to fight some damn body with his scary ass, he seemed like he don't want to fight ever since he lost to Josh Taylor. You know, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this dude. You know, so it's going to be very interesting to see when these guys move up. People saying that, you know, Top Rank ain't got no, they got some competition up there. When these guys move up, that's gonna make it that much more stacked, and it's gonna put pressure on these networks, the four, you know, the cross promote each other, fight each other, man. I mean, because you got Ramirez and Taylor and Bud and all these guys on the other side. Like, why they can't cross streets with each other and fight Sean Porter and the who and whatnot? I mean, that like, come on, man, this shit is getting ridiculous. And anybody who campaigning that side of the street shit, y'all need to just check out a boxing, man, because I'm sick of hearing that. But as far as you know, what I had to talk about on the fight, that's pretty much it. And I thought Josh Taylor did a wonderful job, man. And salute to both guys with you know, good sportsmanship. And that's pretty much it, though, man. And hold on, let me read the comment before I let go. Let me see. He says, "I don't do what the company man does not does what he does. Trap House. He's a Mafuyi. If you remember the Shaolin trainer from the Shaw brothers, yeah, I remember that story. B man, man, I hate to call my man that, but he messes me up sometimes, man. Fox strikes again. He said, I think Josh Taylor may have gotten him out if he would press the issue more. Yeah, he could have, but the thing is that the reason why I think that Josh Taylor didn't get him out of there more is I think that Josh Taylor was fatiguing. I don't think it was for the simple fact that you know he was scared or anything like that or you know in danger. I think that he was fatiguing, and that's what I thought. But y'all go ahead, man. Y'all go ahead and I'm passing the mic, man, because I done did too much talking.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought that Josh Taylor was fatiguing a little bit. I thought the pressure was getting to him, but he still won the fight. But did you see the scoring?
No, I didn't. I didn't check it. All I care was about if he won. Now I kept it moving.
Man, 114 to 112, man. So that means if he didn't get those two knockdowns, it would have been a draw or Ramirez would have won.
Ooh.
That's some cold-blooded stuff, bro. I heard before the fight that, you know, they were gaming for Ramirez to win the fight. And those scorecards show that, bro. And then Bob Arum said after the fight, he said that he complained that Josh Taylor was holding. I'm like, that oh man, they should take the mic from him sometimes, man. Because when he said that right there, now everybody's going around on social media talking about Josh Taylor holding. You know what I mean? And that wasn't holding.
Look, man, I'll tell you like this, and
It's not fighting. It's clinching, parrying.
hey, look, I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you keep going. But look, to me, Ramirez is not as seasoned in the clinch is you know he portrayed to be like that inside clinch game. Like he need to get more seasoned in the clinch. I'm not saying he can't fight in the clinch, but if he wasn't seasoned if he was seasoned in the clinch, he wouldn't have got hit with that uppercut. He would have knew to defend himself. You understand what I'm saying? Like Josh Taylor,
Right. Yeah.
beat him fighting dirty. Off the dribble, he was fighting dirty. He beat
Mhm.
him up mentally in the clinch game off the dribble.
Yep. Yep. He was in his head. He definitely was in his head. You know, Ramirez, you could see it in Ramirez's eyes that he was in his head. And he was throwing, he threw him off. His IQ is real good, bro. Josh Taylor's IQ is excellent, man. Because I seen many times where Ramirez was setting traps, and I said, "Oh man, he gonna get him with that left hook." And last time when they was in that position, he could have got him with the left hook, but he didn't. But when he tried to set him up with a trap, Josh Taylor wasn't there. He got good IQ, man. He even was. It was like he was setting him up the whole time. Even when he hit him, it was a setup. So it would be a real good fight if him and Crawford fight next. Problem is there's a WBO mandatory online, and they're saying that it's a big fight for England because it would be England versus Scotland with Catterall. So he has a mandatory to fight with Catterall. He could either move up and fight Crawford or somebody else at 147, or he would have to fight Catterall.
He gonna fight Catterall first because they've been pumping for that, and then he probably move up. He been saying he was thinking about fighting Catterall. He been saying that for a couple of years.
Okay, all right. Now that makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not the man, but I'm just saying what I heard him talk about.
Okay. Yeah. But it was a good win. I was impressed. It was a very good fight too, man. It was action packed the whole time, man. You know, some of
And,
these fights I fall asleep sometimes on, but this fight was all the way through.
and I'm gonna say this: the thing is like Ramirez and all those guys out of Garcia Training Academy. You know, no disrespect to those guys, but they got to do something different besides setting their feet when they throw these shots. Because
Yes.
the Achilles heels of that Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Those guys cannot throw punches without setting their feet.
Yes. That's true. He has I seen him stumbling in his footwork a lot of times last night too. You know, I haven't watched Ramirez that much before. I watched him against Hooker, and I seen him stumbling in his footwork in that time too. He got to take dancing lessons or something to incorporate
You heard what
into his
they
boxing or something.
he told Josh Taylor. He says, hey man, when he come in, his feet coming together. He says you need to make him pay for that.
Yeah,
Soon as the round started, what he did, he ran him into a straight left hand and dropped him on his face.
yeah, yeah. Because he does this like shuffle with his footwork, which is
Yep.
too much. You know, why are you shuffling?
And he leaps in when he shuffle. And when
Yeah.
he come together and shit.
And he advertised it. Sometimes when he throws his hook, he'll cock back like almost like Danny Garcia does, and then he'll load off and he'll miss the shot. And next thing you know, you see disappointment in his eyes.
Yeah.
Especially when he has to chase. But he plans on moving up. That's what I hear. Ramirez definitely plans on moving up.
I mean, what good is he gonna stay at 140? If we're gonna fight there,
I don't know. I don't know if anyone he could fight there.
man, that boy can't make 140. He needs to move up and fight these guys and make this 140. You know, put pressure on these dudes to move around. If they ain't gonna fight each other, move around. We got Ennis, we got Ramirez, we got Taylor. We got all these guys coming up. Hey, it's time to roll. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
it's time for these guys to fight.
Yeah. Anybody
Mhm.
else going about this?
I didn't hear you.
I said, anybody else got something to cook on about this besides me and Harlem versus Mark?
Y'all pretty much said, everything in the nutshell. Especially like with the jab. I think that was one of the things that Ramirez didn't really capitalize on was the jab, and I'm not sure about his conditioning. But although, like I said, once he got hit and he got dropped, this was for Undisputed. So I felt like this is something that's going to put you in history. And me personally, I believe if you become Undisputed champion, you belong in the Hall of Fame. So I think he should have treated the fight a little more. Even though I wasn't in there, I'm not taking the punches. I think he could have stepped on the gas a little more because there was points in the fight where Josh Taylor looked like he was just puzzled by the punches that Ramirez was throwing. Now he didn't capitalize on them, but if he'd have kept that same pace up, the same with like his last fight, it would have been a different story, but that didn't happen. So there was just shot times in there where I definitely did see him, hurt Josh Taylor or buzz him. And he didn't capitalize on it. When he had him on the ropes, he did very good. When he was throwing that left hook to the body, it was good, even though he was getting counted. But that slowed Josh Taylor down as well. I don't think people gave Ramirez a lot of credit for his body work that he was doing, but vice versa, Taylor was doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Taylor was doing the same thing. Going to the body, making it, difficult for Ramirez to keep up that pace. But I believe if they had a rematch, it would be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I still wouldn't just say Josh Taylor will win in a rematch, but I like that fight. That's definitely a fight I could sit back and watch again because it wasn't just a one-sided fight. Even though I had Taylor winning, it was still points in the fight where Ramirez is coming on. So that's just my take. And as far as him moving up, I believe so because 47. A lot of these guys either fighting once a year or they really don't want to smoke with each other. So I do believe that he should move up to 47 and join the new crop with the Virgil Ortizes and everybody else that's up there, so we can get a new welterweight division because these guys are on their way out pretty much.
Bars, you got something to say, Bars?
Yeah, man. I definitely enjoyed Ramirez and Josh Taylor, man. Um, Fighting for Undisputed. The first few rounds, you could tell like the both of them belong there. Like the number one and then the number two best fighters at 140. Um, I really like this 140 division because the fighters. The 140 division when Crawford was in, it wasn't that much talent, but we have a lot of talent for this 140 division. The tournament was amazing. The World Boxing Series tournament when they had for all the guys that was in the 140 tournament. It's sad that Maurice Hooker and Jose Ramirez were the only champions that didn't enter the tournament, but the tournament itself had the next top 8 best fighters in the division. You had Relic. I was very high on Brian Sheck, Ryan Martin. I like Ryan Martin. He's very a comfort fighter. He could throw a lot of more punches, but I like what Ryan Martin does. But as the fight itself for Josh Taylor and Ramirez, the accuracy and every time Josh Taylor really threw this punch, it lands very clean. It was the most effective shots in the fight. Ramirez' relentless style um, edged certain rounds in the fight, so I can see why a lot of people had Ramirez. Um, Certain rounds they gave it to Ramirez, but the knockdowns for me is what separated the fight and what separated Josh Taylor from Ramirez. Um, I I really believe Josh Taylor is a phenomenal fighter. I think Black Fight fans said it, um, and I definitely agree with what he was saying. I think if Josh Taylor develops a stronger jab and a better jab, I think he could even be much a better fighter. I think he can. I think that will be his only weakness in my one of the weakness I see in Josh Taylor. I did see spots he was kind of fatigued and fading a little bit, but maybe that's how Josh Taylor fights. I don't know, but I really like what Josh Taylor does, and I really believe I think he should stay at 140. I know he his mandatory is Jack Catterall. He promised Jack Catterall that he would give him a shot. He paid a lot of step. Him and he was Ramirez mandatory, and Ramirez and Josh Taylor paid him a lot of step aside money for this undisputed fight. I think he should honor the fight. They've been talking about Catterall and Josh Taylor for a long time. Let them fight each other. Um, I don't believe Teofimo is going to fight Devin Haney, so we can have a truly undisputed fighter at 135 to end the little controversy. I think the WBC Suleiman is doing a disservice to the both fighters, Teofimo and Devin Haney, because we don't know which title means more. Everybody keeps saying Devin Haney got an email belt making fun of his belt, and then because he didn't beat Lomachenko for some odd reason, but Lomachenko vacated it. And then they said being the franchise champion, you can never lose that. And then WBC made a lot of rules. But what I'm basically saying is, I believe Bob Arum is going to make Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez. It only makes sense. What else Teofimo going to do? He ain't going to fight Haney. He ain't going to fight Tank. Not saying he wouldn't fight Tank. And Ryan Martin, I don't see the Ryan Martin fights. I mean, not Ryan Martin, Ryan Garcia. So I just believe Josh Taylor is going to fight Teofimo Lopez, man. They got to make that fight. And I don't see Josh Taylor fighting Crawford unless Crawford signs an extended contract with Bob Arum, because his contract ends in October. And you know Josh Taylor ain't going to come back to the fall. So by the time he comes back, his contract is basically over. So what's the sense of making Josh Taylor fight Crawford? Why would Bobby Arum do something like that? Give his golden egg to Crawford, and then he runs away, whether he goes on Triller, where he goes to Eddie Hearn, or comes to the PBC, whatever the case might be. I don't see Bobby Arum giving him Josh Taylor. Why would he do that unless Crawford says, I'm going to stay with Bob Arum? And I feel like it'll be a disservice for Crawford to do that, to sign with Bobby Arum, because what else you going to do? Like, what you going to do there? After you beat Josh Taylor, what else you going to do? Because we don't see Bobby Arum working with Al Heyman hardly ever. Are they going to come to agreement like they did Fury and Wilder? It's going to be very hard to make that agreement. So I think Crawford should leave. But I just believe Josh Taylor might stick around at 140. And even if Josh Taylor don't fight Crawford and does move up to 147, he's signed to Bob Arum. What fights he's going to get, unless he's going to be in the building stage and build his profile at welterweight little by little, because all the welterweights is with Al Heyman. All the junior middleweights is with Al Heyman. So unless Josh Taylor don't have a long contract with Bob Arum also. So I feel like Josh Taylor should stick around at 140. I think that would be it would serve him more. I know he won't get a super fight, the big fights, but I just don't see Bob Arum making Crawford and Taylor unless Bud signs another contract with Bob Arum. Bob Arum is not in the league to help fighters that is going to leave him. It's not in. That's not who Bob Arum is. He wants to build fights in his stable, and if he needs you, he might want to do other fights with other promoters. But one thing I wanted to ask is, do y'all think Ramirez is the second best? Do you think if Polgar and him fight, say sometime this year, who would y'all favor in that fight? Because I truly want to know who is the second best fight at 140. And I feel like Polgar is only fighting people that he believes he can beat. Like he want to fight Adrian Broner. And Adrian Broner, if you saw his last fight, it was just so horrible. I don't know why you would want to see Adrian Broner fight any elite fighter or any tough fighter, because they're going to just smash on Broner. The guy he fought was like absolutely trash. And that's a real harsh thing to say about the dude, but he was really no good at all. Not at all. And I think if anybody want to fight Broner right now, I really don't believe you believe in yourself. Because Broner, yes, he got popularity, but he's not going to help you become a better fighter. He's not going to build your profile to be this superstar even if you beat him. So why would you want to fight a fighter like that? You know, like he fighting Red Cash. He want to fight Mario Barrios. Why you want to fight Barrios, who's not? That's an easy fight for Polgar. I don't think Polgar believes in himself that much. He turned down the Hooker fight because he didn't want to go one more pound over. But he's steadily fighting in catch weights each fight. He fought Red Cash as a catch weight, 143. He was supposed to, when he fought on Tank Card, he was supposed to make 140, but end up being 142 or 143. You can't make 140 no more. Your body can't make it because you end up missing weight. You fighting in catch weights. Move up to welterweight. Challenge yourself. Fight somebody who I believe you might not win. Fight Ramirez. If you really want to challenge yourself at 140, fight Ramirez. Because I don't know who will win that fight. I really don't. Until Josh Taylor knocked out Ramirez, knocked down him, I didn't even know Ramirez would ever fall. I thought he would stand up to the chin shots. Maybe a body shot he might have went down, but I didn't believe Josh Taylor can hook off on him on his chin and drop him. Like that was the surprise for me in the entire fight. But like I said, I would love to see Polgar against Ramirez. But what y'all think about Polgar and Ramirez?
Yeah, we got, because after we answer this, we got to wrap it up, man. Program Ramirez. I mean, I don't know, because Prograis, like I said, this dude he don't want to fight nobody. So it's like, what's his heart at? Where's his mind at? You know, it'd be a good fight. You know, to me, in my opinion, I would like to see how Ramirez would respond and react to, you know, Prograis's power when he get hit. But I want to see how Prograis respond and react to Ramirez's pressure. You know what I mean? What he got. So it'd be interesting. That'd be a damn sugar fight of the year type shit. Go ahead, somebody next.
Hey, so do y'all think that Manny Pacquiao would fight Crawford afterwards, or would he retire if he defeated Earl Spence?
I hope so. I hope so. That'd be dope. If defeat all of them, man, gotta be the best, bro. I mean, you gotta put away in terms of accomplishment. So, but I ain't talking about skill, but I mean, like compliments gotta be flowing at that point. Ain't no disputing, ain't no denying, ain't no nothing at that point.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. But if he retires and then the belts go back to
Yeah,
vacant to vacant, it's a whole nother mess in the welterweight division. The only thing that can solve it is a tournament or something, you know. And from what I'm understanding, Crawford is trying to leave Top Rank,
yeah,
so he might be shelled right now.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
But he might be, you know. I don't know. We gonna see.
But
He definitely.
one thing I can say is if Manny is keep fighting undefeated fighters like from Keith to Earl Spence, I don't see why he wouldn't fight Terence Crawford. If
Yeah,
he because he's on an honor roll right now. He's on a roll.
Yeah,
I think he
So
would.
I
he
think he
expressed that
definitely
desire.
would.
He definitely expressed that desire. I didn't believe him when I read that report from Filipino news that he was talking about fighting Earl Spence, either Earl Spence, Crawford, or Mikey Garcia. Those were the only three names that he mentioned. He didn't mention nobody else. So when I heard Mikey complaining that that he didn't hear nothing from Earl Spence, and I mean heard nothing from Pacquiao, he didn't know which person was telling the truth. One person was saying that Pacquiao wanted to fight. The next person he called under Pacquiao's entourage was saying no, he doesn't want to fight. So it was he wanted to. Mikey Garcia wanted to basically fight, and he wanted to come back like sometime in June or July. So he was starting to look to another opponent. So I thought Manny Pacquiao was thinking about maybe retiring, doing a couple of exhibitions. But when what he said about when he wanted to fight Earl Spence and Crawford, I didn't believe him. No one else believed him. Remember when he said that, Joe?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't believe him because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You're too old to be doing that.
salute
But
to him.
salute to him because I didn't think he would beat Keith Thurman, to be honest.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure. He always proves people wrong.
yeah. Anybody got one more last thing to say? Wrap this up, bro. Family.
Yeah, I got one thing to say. Salute the Trap House, Corner Man, and Mark for the wonderful time being on the show. Salute to everybody in the chat. It's famous. Y'all already know. Throw that straight right down the pipe. Smash that like button. Share this with a friend of five. Everything is still a sport. So where's my sportsmanship award? And just like that, famous is gone.
Salute to fame.
Hey, salute.
Salute to Elder Builder, man, who came. Uh, but anybody else want to say they was last up out here? Say yeah.
Man, salute
Yeah.
Trap House. Salute everybody that came on famous. Hey. Salute Mark. It's a pleasure having talking boxing with y'all because I love talking boxing. This is something I could talk 24/7 and not get tired of the subject. Boxing is something I really love, enjoy talking, especially with the brothers. Shout out to the whole LDBC. You already know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the Cornerman Radio too, man. And holla, man, you go ahead and say your exit. Yo.
Yeah. Salute Trap House and salute to Cornerman and Famous also. And it was a very good live stream also what we was talking about too. As you see, we still got to do a little bit of research. There's still some iffiness to go with the welterweight division and all. So we'll see. But it's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of good matches stacked up all the way from June into August. And don't forget the undisputed. Almost they're gonna no, it's gonna be a unification of three belts with Steve Fulton and Figueroa, Brandon Figueroa. They're gonna be doing it on 9/11. You
Oh,
know,
That's what's up. But yeah,
So
man,
I
everybody,
appreciate everyone and salute.
no doubt. And I sure appreciate everybody stepping through here, coming through the trap house, man. Y'all jab that like button on your way out. And tune into the next one, man. Hit the notification icon bell so we can goddamn stay on track and so y'all don't miss and come in late next time I go live. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all, so the next time y'all can just follow on in. You know what I mean? Like prayer. So do the right thing, man. Y'all jab that like button on your way out. This your boy Trap House Boxing, and just like that, I'm gonna holler at y'all to the next one. I'm gone.